everybody in this movie is trash, obviously, right? I mean, I'm not actually giving any breaking news here, but goddamn. Well, this was a happy surprise. Leon gave me this movie request about 2 months before I was supposed to sit down and do it. Because he likes to work a couple months ahead. And when I looked around at that time, I saw this wasn't available. Natural Born Killers is not available on streaming anywhere. And so I was like, well, this is another one of these movies. Like half the movies a month that people request, I end up having to pay for. It's like $3 to $5 on YouTube to rent it, and you only get it to rent it for 48 hours. So I watch it, being careful not to watch it all the way because I don't know if you watch it all the way, do they just okay, that's it, that's your rental over with? Because I still have to screen record it after I watch it, right? So it's a pain in the ass. So the fact this movie is now available on HBO Max just now, and it even says new because I always search again right before I was going to hit click on the rental because I'm trying to save every dollar I can, right? I do search, and this is the first time this ever happened where like I searched again streaming, movie title streaming. Hey, it's on HBO Max. I was like, what the fuck? So I go to HBO Max. There's a big new banner on it. So long story short, really long story short, hey, I've got a good feeling about this movie. It's available for free when I didn't think it was going to be. So that already puts me in a good mood. And remember that when I say the next thing I'm going to say about this movie. I actually have a bad history with this movie. This movie came out right after I moved. I was living on my own in the Midwest. And I decided I wanted, I was in a bunch of dead end jobs and a bunch of bullshit. It's just I wasn't going anywhere. I was 24 years old, hadn't accomplished shit. Graduated from high school, but I hadn't accomplished shit. Bunch of dead end jobs, and I realized I had an affinity for architectural drafting, and so I wanted to go to college for architectural drafting, but I couldn't afford to pay for college and a place to live and everything. And so Dad let me move back in with him. So I moved in with him and my younger brother and started going to community college. And so this movie came out right after this happened. So I'm 24 years old. I'm back living with a parent again for the first time in 10 years. And it was hard. It was hard that first year living with him. I lived with him for 2 years while I was in college. Then I moved out, got married and shit. But it was hard being an adult. Like he wasn't used to this. Although he had been living with my adult younger brother. So maybe he was more used to it than I was now that I think about it. But to again make a long story short, this movie caused a really bad fight between me and my dad and me and my younger brother. Really bad fight. Like sleep in my car for a couple nights. Bad fight. Because I was 24 years old. I had basically just a couple years before that I'd forsworn violence. I'd been violent as a teenager. Violent as a young adult, just like, get in fights all the time and shit. Just anybody pisses me off, I just hit them in the fucking mouth and just all kinds of fucking shit, man. Also verbally violent a lot. I was just a fucking asshole. I was trying to turn my life around. And I had forsworn violence, like, somebody would have to hit me in the mouth or they'd have to, hit my girlfriend or something for me to fight. Like, I wasn't going to fight. So I was against violence, right? And he and my younger brother wanted me to watch this movie with them. They had already seen the movie. And they said, it's great, you'll love this movie. Natural Born Killers. And I had heard this is a movie glorifying violence. So I didn't want to watch it. And they didn't let it go. They kept saying, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, yeah, it's just a movie. Who cares about glorifying violence, right? And so then we ended up just having a massive fucking argument. Massive. Like, we're talking like screaming at each other and shit. Just everything. And I brought up all this shit that he didn't believe me, that my stepfathers were abusing me and shit. And all this shit, a lot of resentment, and it all came out because they were trying to force me to watch this fucking movie I didn't want to watch. I'd heard good things about this movie. That Oliver Stone was hot back then. Like he was the shit. You know what I'm saying? He was a big deal. And so, ordinarily this is a movie I would have watched, and maybe I would have wanted to watch it if they hadn't been so fucking in my face about it. Just like, no, you need to watch this. You need to stop this whole all violence sucks thing and get off your high horse. And another piece of information you need to know is I was pretty fucking arrogant back. Like, I was still an asshole. I probably still am an asshole, but I was really an asshole back then. And so I was all high and mighty. How can you watch this shit? How can you glorify violence? Like, getting all high-minded on them. So, like, this argument was totally my fault, as much as it was theirs, right? They're in my face. So, at the end of the day, we dropped it and everything. We moved on with our lives and everything was fine. And, he and I were always close. This was our worst argument. And it was a combination of things. It was all the shit from my childhood, all my childhood resentments because he didn't believe I was being abused. All this crap, and then my younger brother, I had issues with him and everything too. So it was just a bad time. And like I said, I've always been close with him since then. That's the last time we really, really, really screamed at each other. That we would get snippy, we would have arguments, but this was the biggest fight. And so I vowed to myself I was never gonna watch this fucking movie ever. Fuck this movie, and just even thinking about the movie makes me a little nauseous, right? Just because there's so many fucking bad connotations attached to it. But, and obviously I could have turned this, when Leon suggested this, I could have turned it down. But the reason I didn't was I've come a long fucking way since this movie came out. This movie came out, what, 27 years ago? I've come to look at, like, you see me, you see the kind of shit I watch. The Sopranos, motherfuckers getting beat the fuck up, thrown down a flight of stairs, heads driven over with a fucking car, just gutted, fucked, stabbed, iron, molten gold poured over their fucking head, this isn't all just Sopranos, by the way. This is like a lot of shit I watch, right? So I watch a lot of violence, and I have no problem with a lot of violence because I've become at peace with myself. I wasn't at peace with myself back then. And plus, I was up my own ass. I was not a filmmaker yet. I had not become a filmmaker. Becoming a filmmaker changed my whole fucking perception. Here's the thing. I know that what we see on TV, what the images we see, influence us. You know how I know this? People that make a lot of fucking money, people that make billions of dollars a year, think that what we see on screen influences us. Advertising. These people didn't become as powerful and as rich as they are by being wrong all the time. They think what we see on the screen influences us. They're willing to spend $5 million on 30 seconds of ad time at a Super Bowl. Why? Because they think when we sit there and we watch that 30-second ad, it's going to influence our purchasing decisions. And they've been thinking this for 50 fucking years. Now, how arrogant would I be to think that they're wrong? They're a lot smarter than me. They're a hell of a lot fucking richer than me. They know what they're talking about. They believe what we see influences us. So, does violence influence us? Of course it does. Because I trust the system, and the system says that's what happens. I've been watching violent shit for fucking... I forswore violence about 30 years ago. I've been watching violent shit all that time. Well, probably at least the last 20 years for sure. I haven't broken my vow of nonviolence, so I haven't hurt anybody. I haven't hit anybody. I haven't gotten in a fight. So it clearly doesn't influence you enough. And the science I've seen, especially with subliminal advertising, is that if you already want to do something, it'll push you in that direction. Like, say you want to drink a Diet Pepsi. But you don't really feel like getting out of the chair and going to get the Diet Pepsi. Maybe that commercial is just that little bit of extra push. Okay, fine, I'll get up out of my chair and go get it. But that's about it. If you don't want a Diet Pepsi, or if you're not thirsty, that ad ain't gonna do shit. If you're not already ready to fucking wrap your hands around a motherfucker's throat, seeing it on TV isn't gonna do shit. That's pretty much my ultimate conclusion. Does it have an impact? Does it influence? Yes. But I don't think it's the end all be all. I have to admit, I'm curious about this movie. Does it actually glorify violence? Does it, in my own 2021 point of view, older, grayer, more wise, I hope, more at peace with myself for sure, does this person's opinion, what does he think? Back then, having not seen the movie and being an arrogant asshole, I thought it did glorify violence. Now, the question now is, does it actually glorify violence? Well, let's find out. This has been a long fucking intro that's never gets signed because these movies' reactions are usually pretty fucking long. So, let's go and get into this shit. So I guess my point, the first thing I brought up was like that this is for free. It puts me in a good mood because I was still a little trepidatious. Am I going to feel nauseous? Am I going to be thinking about the fight the entire fucking time the movie's on? I hope not. And the fact that I'm getting it for free, hey, it puts a little spring in my step, even though I'm not walking right now. So we'll see. But that was a good way to kick this off.
No, but that don't mean much. I was a completely different person back then.
Hey, that's what I was just talking about. Being a completely different person back in the past. Tell you what, Woody Harrelson has really grown on me as an actor. I've been talking about this during the True Detective reactions. And Julia Lewis, by the way, I fucking love her. But yeah, Woody Harrelson's fucking awesome, man. Like, God, what an amazing actor.
What the hell is that?
That's fucking Julia Lewis dropping some science. That's what the fuck this is. God damn. That's right, motherfucker. Beep, beep. Damn, she's giving you this work, dude. You gonna just take this shit? She teared that ass up, man. What the fuck you doing, man? I can't believe the way she's tearing this motherfucker up, man. Oh my god. Okay, what are we? We're 7 minutes into this shit, and I already realize I'm a fucking asshole, an idiot, and I got into that fight for nothing. This shit is fucking hilarious. I didn't get it, man. I didn't understand. You know, this just goes to show, man. Sometimes you just gotta admit when you're a fucking asshole. Your past self sucked ass, and you just vow to be better in your future life. That's where I'm at with this, right? Look at this shit, man. This is fucking awesome. Look at this. This is a cartoon. How did I not see that this is a cartoon? I watched Looney Tunes cartoons. I had no problem with those, right? This is legit just a fucking cartoon. I obviously get what they're satirizing, too. You gotta remember what the world was like. A lot of people watching this now don't remember what the world was like back in 1994. We were coming out of the 80s, cocaine, you know, Wall Street, all this shit. We just had a fucking stock market crash that devastated a lot of people. People were wilding out. There was also a lot of like filming ourselves and shit that was just becoming a thing. So this is like satirizing the future of reality TV and social media. And these these fucking mindless like social media celebrities, right? You know, this is fucking shit. I can already see it's ahead of its time because that's literally what they're doing here. This is also the same year Pulp Fiction came out. I was about to accuse Pulp Fiction of ripping this movie off, but I actually just looked it up. This movie came out the same year as Pulp Fiction, so nobody ripped each other off. Like I'm telling you, man, both of those movies are a reflection of what we were coming out of the 80s, and it was just a wild ass time, man. We were losing our minds back then.
The whole world's coming to an end, man.
Exactly. That's what we were thinking. You know, the Berlin Wall had come down 5 years ago, and you know, Russia was collapsing. Like everything we fucking believed all our lives was just disintegrating. I spent the first 24... Let me pause this shit. I spent the first 24 years of my life believing I was going to die in a nuclear holocaust. The Cold War with Russia was real, and I would have nightmares of this shit every night in the 80s. Even in the early night, I would fucking... until the fucking wall came down. But I remember vividly the fucking dreams. I look out the window, I see the fucking mushroom cloud, and I remember beating my hands on the window, saying, "You stupid assholes," or something, probably like the Charlton Heston thing, you know. I'm sure that's where I got that from. But I remember like beating my hands against windows, and the window didn't break. It was just, it being so fucking angry. We were convinced it was going to happen. Convinced. And so it was just a matter of time. And my dad had been in the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was in one of the ships in the Cuban Missile Crisis. So I was hearing these stories firsthand. Like this shit could break out at any moment, right? Fucking Reagan, gunslinger, and the Star Wars initiative. We thought that the fucking, that would send the fucking Russians over the brink. They would want to nuke us before we could get a defense against the nukes, right? It would, you had to be there. But it all made sense back then. I was convinced. I was 100% convinced. A lot of us were. And then you take that threat away. What are you left with? If you've had a gun to your head for the first 19 years of your life, what are you left with at that point? So it was a wild ass time. We were our equilibrium had been taken away. A lot of shit was hitting into a lot. You know, the internet was just like it was just a couple years away, but there's already some shit going on with colleges and stuff. Technology is breaking wide different ways. After the Challenger disaster, so we didn't have faith in the fucking NASA anymore. NASA used to be infallible until then. And it looked like they were just going to stop doing the fucking shuttle missions. That meant a lot to me. So now we're not going to go in space. We're not going to colonize the moon or Mars. So what the fuck are we going to do as a human race, right? So what I'm trying to explain to you is just how chaotic and destabilizing the world was when this movie came out, when it was made. That's what I feel like. Just 9 minutes into it, that's what I feel like we're doing here. You know, it was just fucking complete batshit crazy chaos. We didn't know what the fuck to do, what to think. And a lot of it just seemed pointless. It seemed like a big fucking joke. You know, so For a lot of the younger people who watch this shit, if you're like 20 to, if you're under 30, you're not going to understand what the hell I'm talking about. Because, like I said, this shit came out 27 years ago. So you would have to be 40, I think. If you were 13, you may have been able to grasp this shit. So you would literally have to be right now, be 40 years old or older. And I'm not young shaming anybody. I'm not saying that. I don't understand what it was like in the 60s, right? Because I wasn't fucking there. I don't really understand what it was like in the 70s. I was just a little kid. So I'm not young shaming anybody. I'm just saying, like, you just have to be a certain age to understand it. Just like now, if a kid is 20 years old, they don't understand what happened in 9/11. They can't conceive it. They don't, you know. So all I'm saying here is that this is a wild ass time, and to me, having lived through that time and being about the age that this movie is probably designed for, what I'm saying is this makes a lot of sense to me. And I don't know if I would have enjoyed this movie back then or not. I don't know, but I am enjoying it so far. Rodney Dangerfield, holy shit, I can't believe it.
Not at all. You didn't mow the yard.
So she's basically turned this motherfucker into some Archie Bunker shit, which I'm sure her life probably actually was like this. But obviously, anything from their point of view is going to be through a lens, right? And a filter. Does the brother get off or not?
Free Kevin.
Nope. Because it seemed like Woody was trying to kill the kid too. Goddamn, man, what the fuck? You think he was in on it? Really? We're going to be littering? Like, I don't mind the murder, but goddamn littering? What the fuck, man?
Ass is behind us. Give me a hand.
Dude. You might have hepatitis or some shit.
Fuck you!
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck? The most twisted romance I've ever seen was the movie True Romance by Quentin Tarantino. This is the second most twisted romance I've ever seen.
Give him street directions.
324.
Yeah, too bad we ain't got MapQuest back now. If I remember right, The Night in Stalker was about 10 years before this came out. It was the mid-'80s, somewhere around there. And he actually got caught. I think he got caught. A mob of people, just regular people, chased him down and beat the dog shit out of him. The police actually saved his life, as I remember it. But I do remember there was a certain glamorization of him, and I have a feeling that heavily inspired this. So I don't think there was any... There may have also been spree killings, but I just don't remember. I didn't really follow those stories too much. Spree killings weren't as interesting to me as serial killers back then. And these people are more spree killers than they are serial killers. Serial killers keep a low profile. Spree killers don't, right? So these are spree killers.
No. We're staying. We got plenty of action here.
Putting this fucking TV in the window is genius, man. Little trouble in paradise here, I guess.
Fucking pretty.
Maybe I just will.
Well, that's a twist. I thought they were talking about the TV. Jesus.
It's the worst fucking head I ever got in my life.
I mean, he was only down there for literally seconds, so... Yeah. Little life lesson for a person who's dead.
Yeah, I love her. And I will.
Really, motherfucker? Really?
Arthur too, huh?
Yeah. That's my type of girl. I like her.
Jesus,
See what we
dude.
got here, Scooter? I didn't kick it in yet.
Yeah, that's what you motherfuckers need. Some mind-altering drugs. Yeah, that'll fit in very nicely with what's been going on so far.
Al, you doing, man?
Yeah, you better clean that up.
Horseman.
Too much TV. I think that's really the thesis of this movie. If this movie has a thesis, I have a feeling we just saw it. That was a big concern back then. You know, the old motherfuckers like Oliver Stone were worried that people are watching too much TV. These days, we're like, fuck it. We turned out okay, having seen all this TV. God damn, man, really?
Yeah.
Yep, he saw his death coming. You know, it's almost like a life of murder and mayhem isn't going to work out, you know?
There are no accidents, Mickey.
I'm human, Val. I made a mistake.
Such a stupid argument.
Yep.
Yep, that's how they get you. He was trying to warn you, dumbass. That fucking snake bit the fuck out of her. Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. take this vengeance. There's some genuinely terrifying imagery in this shit, man. Oliver Stone, I didn't realize he had this in him. I knew he was brilliant, right? But this is a lot.
Hey, are you a real cop?
Oh, yeah, I'm a real cop.
Yeah, ish.
You're not gonna hurt me, are you?
Yeah, drug zone. That feels like what we need right now. Yeah. You gotta be shitting me. Let's throw some more drugs into the mix.
Look, alive. To tell the tale of Mickey and Mallory.
Because it's about the views. Man, they would have loved Instagram.
Hey, this shit keep you hard.
I don't think that's your problem right now, dude. Damn, she tearing that ass up for a sick motherfucker. They're gonna shoot the fuck out of you, dude. I can't believe they got caught, man, halfway through the movie. What the fuck? I actually thought the movie would be their journey and then they would die at the end. Like, what the hell is this, man? They gonna go on trial or something? Like, that's not how I thought this was gonna go. I had to take a little break to rest my hip and everything. And the whole time I was on break, I was just thinking, I cannot fucking believe how this played out, man. Like, this is so different than what I was expecting. Basically, the impression I had was Bonnie and Clyde in modern day, which is hilarious because, you know, this is 27 years in the past now. But, like, what the impression I was given back when this movie came out was Bonnie and Clyde in modern day. And the Bonnie and Clyde story is where they got gun smoked. Gun fucking smoked, right? So I assumed this would be it. So, but really this theme is not about, the whole thing about glorifying violence, not glorifying violence. This isn't about glorifying violence. This isn't about violence. This is about TV. Literally. Like, Oliver Stone's basically beating his chest, railing against TV. You know, basically he's like, get off my lawn, essentially, you know, about this TV thing. And so, you want to have the full production. You want to have a fucking circus trial. Another thing that's hilarious about this came a year or two before OJ, right? With that big circus-ass trial. Now, I'm making an assumption. Now I'm assuming another thing, which is they're going to have some fucking circus trial. It's been a year. It probably would take a year for this trial to start, right? And it would be a fucking bureaucratic nightmare. Who tries them first? What state? You know, I mean, just nightmare. You'd rather these people just die in the street rather than having to figure all that shit out, right? Like, so it could easily take a year for the trial starts. And then they're going to be talking a bunch of shit and they'll be getting a bunch of interviews and all that stuff. That's how I'm assuming it's going to play out now, which fits right into the theme of TV. So, let's find out. Another thing I'm really tempted into is how the people, and again, he saw the future in this too. The people who prosecute the case and people who, like, arrested the people and prosecute the case become celebrities too. That happened with OJ. You know, the cop, Furman, I think his name was, he's been a celebrity ever since. You know, talk shows, books, stuff like that. Obviously the prosecutors, both of them, Darden and Marcia Clark, I think. See, I still don't know the names so much later.
Ricky and Mallory Knox are without doubt the most twisted, depraved pair of shit fucks that has ever been my district.
Wow, he looks young here, man. Holy shit.
I'm telling you, these two mother.
Long time ago, like I said.
Mistake and asking what her parents like. She's done it all shot up on tranquilizers.
Nobody can talk fast clearly. It's hard to talk fast clearly. You can talk fast, but to actually people be able to understand you when you're talking fast, Jesus Christ, man. Tommy Lee Jones, he can nail that. That's one of his biggest talents as an actor. I always thought prison wardens were bureaucrats, not badasses. I'm dubious.
Everybody in their right mind's gonna cry for these two pig fuckers if they happen to take a little.
I don't think they ever fucked a pig. That sounds like slander, sir.
Warm, but my blood still's got more attraction to me than that, okay? Dwight, the guy lives to fuck cops over.
He's the same as you, motherfucker. You two are two birds of a feather. You're Mr. Media Whore Super Cop, and he's Mr. Wannabe Cop Media Whore, right? Two birds of a feather, man.
Every couple of weeks we do.
Look at this motherfucker. They might as well be blood brothers.
Fucking you and Mallory may be killers, but nuts, insane. Today they want to clean your mind.
Man, they're straight crazy. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? This ain't even about legal defense. They are literally insane.
Because they feel what I say. Well, listen, This is Elton John confessing his bisexuality.
This motherfucker. He is chewing the scenery, man. In a show, in a fucking movie with Tommy Lee Jones going full crazy. I've never seen Tommy Lee Jones be this crazy, right? Going full nuts, right? Woody Harrelson chewing up scene. Juliette Lewis chewing up scene. This motherfucker's chewing up more scenery than anybody. That's impressive.
Tom's coming out, mate. What's the answer? So go for
it. He just came in his pants. And shit himself at the same time. I don't even know if those two things are biologically compatible, if you can literally do both at once. You know? I don't know if that's possible. But if it is, he just did it.
And that shop, I love McCluskey. Cut in on him in the middle of that horrific fucking laugh.
Yeah, it was a horrific laugh, wasn't it? What an asshole.
Circus.
By these sucking degenerate.
Murder me, Mickey. I just. Yo, it's satire, man. Like, see. Because we've never seen anything like this in real life. Like you know, obsessive. We've seen the obsessive. We've seen women who write in and try to marry these serial killers and shit. You know, psychotic murderers. We've seen that, right? But we haven't seen massive crowds like "Kill Me, Mickey." You know, like. So what they're doing is Alan Stone's cranking it up to 11 because he's irritated with our TV celebrity infatuated culture, right? You know, violence obsessed, celebrity obsessed. You know, he's irritated at us for that. You know, back in the day. And so he cranked this shit up to 11 just to piss everybody off. And I fell for the cheese back then. I fell for the bait. I argued with my dad for fucking hours over this shit, you know? When I would have loved this movie, I would like to believe.
World famous, son.
Look at this. These motherfuckers are nuts, man. Can you imagine the outtakes of these scenes?
Oswald might have been a pussy, but
I'm with you.
Damn, dude. About to have another murder up in here. You don't just be coming in for a hug like that.
I want you.
Yes, what a fucking spaz.
Go into something else.
That's the kind of shit he was doing in that fucking horrible ass Batman and Robin movie, you know?
Can you look out? That's your shadow on the wall. No. Can't get rid of your shadow, can you, Wayne?
Dude, you're fucking up the shot. Sit your ass back down.
He
really hates those fucking polar bear commercials, don't he? That's right. I mean, I'm sure it's also product integration, right? Yeah, but still. He took their money and he's making fun of them and they don't even realize it. These motherfuckers are paranoid, man. That's right, turn your back on her. Turn your back on her, motherfucker.
I'm not here to hurt you, Mallory.
Bite that finger off.
I want to be your friend, okay? In the 52 people who are no longer on this planet because they met you and Mallory.
Man, why are you getting mean? I thought you liked him.
Why, Bob? Are you done? Right. So let's cut the BS and
It's time for me to fucking filibuster. Grandstand. Bite his neck.
Every fucking moron in the world just saw that.
Hey, can't we film the riot? Come on, man. These two fucking hands. Chew this scenery, goddammit. Chew this fucking scenery. Two fucking hams, seeing how much. One of them gets 51% of the scenery, the other one gets 49%.
Johnny, no!
That's right. Get them laughing and then start killing them. Now that's how you finish a comedy act, goddammit. Come in there and show up like eating half of that fucking cop's face, right? By the way, I wish I loved anything as much as Hollywood loves fucking prison riots, man. They fucking love that shit.
You might feel a bit of pain.
Yeah, you grab more than a little, motherfucker. That's right. Yeah. Get his ass. Tear that ass up. Thought you were a bad motherfucker. Super cop. What up, motherfucker? Damn, I forgot how keys work.
You in danger, Wayne. Can you tell us? Are
I eat danger for breakfast. How could you possibly miss, man? The room is 6 feet wide. That's right, motherfucker. Yeah! Dumbass. Turn your back on a killer? What the fuck's wrong with you? Amateur. That was amateur hour, man. Hey, don't point that shit at me. I ain't doing nothing wrong.
Loosen your cuffs, Jack.
What the fuck do I want that for?
Yeah. Hey, there's no reason to abuse your subordinates, man. They're trying the best, you know? He must have been hopped up on cocaine this entire performance. Like, I've never seen him like this. And like I said, I saw him in Batman Robin, where he was shit smearing crazy. This is what I imagine it's like inside Quentin Tarantino's brain. Everybody's a killer. Everybody's trash. As we have this contemplative moment before the finale, I just want to say, I'm going to fuck off as soon as this movie's over with because I can tell from my sidebars and my long intro, this is going to be a long fucking file. So, it's pretty clear what I think. I don't think we need a long coda after this, right? So.
It's right.
Good thing he's got a bunch of pills. This is his actual stash that they're showing here. That motherfucker was buck wild back then. Oh shit. Hope you got enough bullets. I just want to say one last time. I was a fucking idiot and an asshole for thinking what I thought and fighting about this movie back in the day. I was a dumbass.
Why helicopters were not deployed, I don't know my own.
Yeah, that doesn't really make plot sense, does it? Let's just brush over it. Wait, this turned into a porno.
Oh, I'm thinking we can lay in a big king size.
Wasn't she shot? Did I misread that?
Sleep.
How do you two intend to disappear? I mean, you're probably the most famous couple in America.
There is that underground, railroad wind during the swirling time.
That's right. We don't have an answer, so we're just gonna pretend that, like, yeah.
Brains all over that tree back there.
Why do you hate this motherfucker, man? Like, I think he did you a solid, didn't you? Did he? He killed people for you.
You're scum, Wayne. You did it for ratings.
Oh, I get it. Oliver Stone. Yeah, okay, I get it. This is Oliver Stone hating on the culture that he's criticizing here. I got you. That's why he has to die.
It's just that you're the last one, Wayne.
We have to. This is Oliver Stone literally killing the media machine he fucking hates. I see you, Oliver.
Killing you and what you represent.
And what you represent, exactly.
A statement.
Yeah, a statement. Like this whole movie.
Have some dignity.
Yeah, dude, the time's long past for that. Oh, Jesus God, he's singing. Shoot him. Shoot him. I'm sure when I go to TV Tropes later and check this out, which I will, there's going to be a theory there that, like, they died in prison and this was all their afterlife, this bullshit-ass escape that would never actually happen, That was the one that occurred to me. That it would be, they actually died and this whole thing was, like, their afterlife, This is a fantasy. Wait a minute, they showed OJ. I thought OJ was 96. I must have been wrong. OJ must have been 93 and 94. I thought OJ was 96. That's why I was talking about OJ happening after this. So, the OJ trials also inspired this. That makes more sense. He didn't predict the future. That makes a lot more sense, actually. Yeah, they're coming with kids and shit. Yeah, right, motherfucker. I gotta say, man, like I said, I'm gonna keep this very, very short. I'm sure this file's gonna be way too long. This was fucking excellent. I was a fucking idiot. And I, retroactively, 27 years later, deeply and humbly and sincerely, I'm not making a joke, I sincerely apologize to my dad. I was wrong. Like, holy shit, this was amazing.